Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Now early hours of this morning, completely out of nowhere, Global Dokkan's Twitter account, or X account, I still can't stand saying that, I'm sticking with Twitter, okay, sue me, posted the details and global animations for LR Cell Max that just came, as I said, out of nowhere. We knew he was coming eventually anyway because of the global and JP sync up, but Dokkan was like, just, here you go, take it now. You just got Toppo, here you go, take it now. We still need to get LR Jiren as well on top of this. And Worldwide is literally in what? A week? Just over a week. 9 days. 9-10 days. Honestly, what a time to be a Dokkan player. What a time to be a Dokkan player. And there's also no waiting period. There's no respite. Not only are we getting banners back to back to back to back to back to back, but usually when they drop details and animations on Twitter, you have about a 2-day wait. No, Cell Max is literally coming tomorrow. So I hope you have some stones saved, or I hope you have some money in the bank, because best believe it's going to get a little bit sore if you want to pull all these units. But enough chit-chatting. In terms of Cell Max's details, he will lead artificial life forms or super bosses with key +4, HP attack and defense +150. Activate the entrance animation, and he'll gain attack and defense +100% and guard all attacks and launch an additional attack. There's a 50% chance to become a super attack for 3 turns from the character's entry turn when there is another artificial life forms or super bosses category ally on the team upon his entry. Which artificial life forms, I was going to say not so much, but I mean, the gammas exist, but your best bet is obviously super bosses, and this is why I said during the 9th anniversary, don't worry just yet. Broly will tie the team together with a lead, and we'll get loads of good units added to this, to the point where super bosses is now Broly, Fizz Rose, Cell Max, Toppo, Jiren, Easy A Jiren. I know we haven't got AGL LR Jiren yet, but he is one of them. That's already 6. Easy A Kefla, LR Fusion Zamasu, Easy A AGL Zamasu. That's the name, all the ones at the top of my head. I think that's the majority, but I think there may be a few more. So Super Boss is in a pretty solid point or spot at this point. And then to start the turn, he will gain key +5, attack and defense +300%, then gain an additional key +1 up to 5, and attack +20% up to 100% with each attack performed, which of course the additional in his entrance buff is going to help him do. He'll gain an additional key +1 up to 5 and defense +20% up to 100% of each attack received, which again, the guard that he has for 3 turns from his entrance buff is going to help him do. So in terms of building all this up, it should really take no time at all, especially with how many attacks are coming in Supreme Magnificent Battle, Red Zone. You only need to be hit 5 times. And if you put him in slot 1, and that's if you can put him in slot 1, I actually don't know too much of what this cell can do. I just know he came out and was like, oh my god, oh shit, that's sick. And then I never checked what he could do or his animations. You could literally do that in 1 turn. Where are we up to? He'll launch an additional attack. There's a 50% chance of becoming a super attack, which again, combined with the entrance buff one he has for 3 turns, you'll be able to build that up with the each attack performed buff as well in no time. He'll also gain an additional defense +250% and reduce damage received by 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn are artificial life forms, super bosses, or movie boss category characters, which again isn't overly difficult to do when you consider some of the units that do belong on each of these categories, but mainly shared between these two, potentially, but mainly super bosses itself. Which again, for that 3 turns, yeah, you could easily side this guy in slot 1. 30% damage reduction, a ton of defense, even before he's super attacked, and guard for 3 turns. And then it's very easy to build up all this extra attack and defense and key because of how many times and how easy it is for you to super attack and be hit. Yeah, 100% slide him in slot 1, he'll build up in no time. Literally like that. So I do like that a lot, how quickly he can build up. Also, a ton of key from his passive, which for an LR is great. And then also, he'll gain an additional attack +250 and a chance to perform a critical hit +30% when there are no superheroes category allies attacking in the same turn, which isn't overly difficult to do if you're running super bosses. I mean, some kind of crossover here and there, but for the most part, shouldn't be difficult to do. I think this is mainly a gimmick for if you're running artificial life forms and you have the gammas, because of course they go on both. But again, just run them on super bosses, and it's very easy to not do that and to gain this extra buff. So it's kind of for free. He'll also launch an additional super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack, which is guaranteed, which again, considering you can slide him in slot 1 with that 3-turn guard and the damage reduction and all the extra defense he just gets in his passive. On top of the build-up again, you're going to build up his passive in no time, which means he could super attack within those 3 turns. The initial super attack, the entrance additional, the other additional he's got, and the guaranteed if he gets hit, which is guaranteed if you slide him in slot 1. You could potentially super attack, 3-4 times in one turn before skill orbs and dupes, which is nutty. And then you got to factor in how much damage he's going to do overall. His link sets Android Assault, Int Fighter, Berserker, Big Bad Bosses, Nightmare, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. I actually didn't know that was his link set. That's actually solid. He's probably one of the only units that could probably trigger the Berserker link with a Broly. And then you could trigger Berserker, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Still confused how the 9th anniversary Broly doesn't have Big Bad Bosses. And that's another thing I'm going to be curious to see. If the new Z Broly we're getting for Worldwide has Big Bad Bosses. Because if he does, that's 4 big links to have active with the new unit, who also both share movie bosses. So that I'm intrigued to see. But he actually has a solid link set. I'm not going to lie, I never knew those were his links. His active skill can be activated when all allies attacking in the same turn are artificial life forms or super boss category characters starting from the 4th time from the start of battle. Very easy to do, very good conditions. Or when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle as well, which again, not too difficult to do. Considering this is an and/or condition, 6 turns not that bad. Considering events are a little bit longer, the 6 turns really not that bad. He'll massively raise attack temporarily and cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and then he'll gain defense plus 999%. So that means he's basically indestructible for this 1 turn after his active skill, combined with 30% damage reduction, by the way. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, on top of the 999% defense. And directs enemies' attack towards the character for 1 turn. So that's why he's indestructible for 1 turn. Like that a lot. I really want him because it's Cellmax's first unit in the game. Also, he's very good by the looks of things. Again, seeing his details for the first time right now. But I don't have the stones. I don't have the facilities for that big man. Dokkan, can we slow down? Please. 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 His categories, not many, but he does go on artificial life form, super bosses, movie bosses, androids, final trump card, and battle of fate. I mean, super bosses is his best place. Movie bosses actually getting a buff because of Broly and the Easy A's, but could also get a further buff. Not only from now we know the Easy A LR Team Turles, which unfortunately Cellmax doesn't get buffed on them 2 categories of Terrifying Conquerors or Planetary Destruction, but Part 2 is also a movie boss unit, or specifically follows the idea everyone has, including myself. We could see Bojack. That's another movie boss unit added as well, and movie boss Easy A's. So movie bosses are getting a slight buff at the moment, but could get a major buff if Part 2 is also movie bosses as well, or a movie boss unit in there. On 12 key, will greatly raise attack by 50% for 1 turn, cause cloth damage to the enemy. On an 18 key, will greatly raise attack for 1 turn by 50%, cause mega cloth damage to all enemies, and greatly lower attack and defense as well. Back in the day, this wasn't overly important, but let's not forget, a few of the newer events and stages we're getting that actually mean something and are difficult. Some of them you can debuff. Not all, but you can. So the debuffs on SAFX are starting to mean a little bit more. Okay, we have his animations, which I'll be real, I haven't actually seen too much. This looks good. Of course, this also came from when he was teased to have his own event a couple years ago. I'm not gonna lie, right? Quick side note, sorry to pause it. Quick side note, is it just me who has PTSD from him running in with the super attack? Like this right here. Is it just me who has PTSD of this? When running the original Cellmax event, and this basically means you were dead if it hit the wrong unit because he hit so hard. I kind of have PTSD as this man running up to you. I really do. They really captured the superhero look so well on these super attacks. I mean, from the OG superhero units to the 9th anniversary ones to this. As Vegeta said in Team 4-Star Dragon Ball Abridged, he's so cool! He's so fucking cool! Oh shit, yeah. You're telling me you don't go on planetary destruction? I mean, I know he didn't actually blow the world up. Let's be real, what's going to happen? So good. I've never seen the active skill before. That looks so sick. That was dope. That was dope. I really want him, but do I have the facilities and funds for that? No. No. So if you are summoning, do let me know down in the comments, and I hope your summons go well, because best believe I won't be able to do shit. But let me know how that goes down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and post.